It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early and it's another marvelous Monday and we're so happy that you're starting your week off with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Gabrielle Gardner, wishing a happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, everybody. I haven't seen y'all in a while. And
Yes,
I guess
it's a happy Monday.
it feels good. It feels familiar. I'm back, everybody. We've rolled away the stone and I've emerged. So I have been gone for a little while, but thanks to everybody who's been checking in on me. You know, you have those moments in life when you know who your real A1s are. Mm-hmm. So shout out to all my real A1s. All of you have been asking about me, checking in on me, knocking on my door, sending the drones out looking for me. I am back, everybody, and I'm so happy and grateful to be here. It's always a joy kicking off my week and ending my week with you and you.
Absolutely. We are very, very happy to have you back. Right. I had my own show there for a couple of weeks. And I'm very happy to share once again.
It was all planned.
Yeah,
International Women's Day. We was like, you know what, we're just going to give Dav a run.
The month.
The whole month.
Right. We almost finished it.
So how have you been? What's been up?
I've been great. I am so excited. I spent my entire weekend at the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival, and it was a spectacular weekend, just like last year, even better, rather, than last year. Of course, Wyclef Jean performed at the Jerk Jam, which was Saturday night, and I actually got to check out Hezekiah Walker. He performed at the Gospel Brunch yesterday, and so it was really rounded out. It was a great weekend.
Nice and eventful, and so we're glad we're back, and we got a couple of congratulations to kick off. So first we want to congratulate our very own Brother Godfrey Burnside. He was honored over the weekend by his home church, the Parish of the Most Holy Trinity. You know, Godfrey's wear all kind of hats. So for this hat, he's been honored for his contributions to the usher ministry. Look, if you've ever been to Holy Trinity and Godfrey got to take it to your seat, he is very good at it. He is intimidating and graceful at the same time. Don't sit in the wrong seat. He just can walk over there and just give it that little touch on your wrist and the little nod, and you go. So congratulations, Brother Godfrey. Continue to excel and do well.
I love that. We also want to give congratulations to Mikola Allen on her recent graduation from the University of Buckingham with first-class honors from all of us here at TCL and Bahamas at Sunrise. Also, the Children's Emergency Hostel needs your help with general perishable and non-perishable, as well as monetary donations. Your assistance is greatly appreciated.
Give what you can, when you can, because it's all appreciated. We've got a great show for y'all today, kicking off our week. We'll be hearing about recent updates taking place at Bahamasair, and we'll also be discussing the Junkanoo Colors Photography exhibit.
We'll also be discussing National Nutrition Month, and we'll take another look at our segment discussing FOCAL's secondary rights offering with Angelo Butler. TCL invites you to the 12th Annual Eleuthera and Harbor Island Business Outlook, Thursday, April 18th and Friday, April 19th. Check out our website for more information and to register for the conference at tclevents.com. Now, let's check on weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Slight cool down after the cold front passes, with those winds picking up also. So today, partly sunny, A little very warm, humid. Expect 1 or 2 little isolated showers late afternoon into the northwest Bahamas, Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini. High temperature 86. I won't be surprised to go to around 90 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild. You can expect a few nighttime showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm over the northwest Bahamas along that frontal boundary. The low going under 71 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 86 and 77. In Jamaica 91 and 71. In Trinidad 1977. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 80 and 70. Across North America, Atlanta 67 39. In Boston 44 and 34. In Miami 79 68. Dallas, Texas 60 and 50. And Toronto, Canada 45 and 33. As you go to the week, that cold front passes through late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And so those temperatures will dip into the mid to upper 70s daytime, at nighttime in the mid to upper 60s. And then we have another cold front. We'll move in here sometime on late Friday into Saturday, and that brings some much needed rainfall to our farmers. That puts her up. First look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. Right now, we're joined by Wilfred Mullings. He's the sales manager with Bahamasair Holdings, and Tenelle Bullard. She is the charter sales manager of Bahamasair Holdings Limited, and they're here to provide us on an update on the national flag carrier. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Morning.
I was going to say y'all up dead early this morning, but Bahamasair running from the crack of dawn, so y'all should be accustomed to being up and being early. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all being here,
Definitely.
Mr. Mullings. So tell us, what's the latest with Bahamasair services, and any special promotions happening?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us. And always a pleasure to be here on Bahamas at Sunrise, and good morning to the entire Bahamas. There's a lot going on in Bahamas here. There's a whole lot, you know. First thing I want to mention is our new route that we started about a year and a half ago out of Nassau and Freeport into Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh.
That's something new, and we're excited about it. And one of the newest things that we did right here in Nassau is the relocation of our CTO office from the Palmdale area into City 2000 out Kamika Road in the Southwest Plaza.
Man, I feel like I'm still gonna drive to that CTO office in Palmdale. That's like history. That's like legendary. That
It
location,
is.
right?
It is. It is important for Bahamasair when we look at moving around and changing things. We look at what's going on around us, and one of the biggest decision making was to move that CTO into the City 2000 area, Kamika Road, for those who don't know what City 2000 is, into the Kamika Road areas, because as you know, Kamika Road is the fastest growing area in New Providence right now, and it's convenient. It will be a convenient stop for all of our customers, and it's almost centrally located, and so people tend to visit that shopping plaza, the Southwest Plaza down there, and it's crazy. And we've been open now since December of last year, and we're going strong, and we're moving forward. Yeah. Customers are liking the environment that they meet there. We have designed it to appease anybody who's coming in. It's customer friendly, and our agents are willing and happy to serve each passenger that comes in.
That's fantastic. And once again, you know, you move with the times, you kind of read the room and you adjust. And most people don't know that, yes, Gladstone Road is the center of the island if you measure it from end to end. So you are pretty much centrally located. So Tenelle, let's talk about Bahamasair, and how are you preparing to serve as a carrier for the Carifta athletes?
Well, this year is our 51 years of hosting the Carifta with dealing with the athletes. We will normally deal with the AAAs, along with NACA, Mr. Mike Sands. He will always assist us with ensuring that we assist those athletes. This year, Grenada will be hosting the athletes for Carifta. And we will normally ensure that the transition with the athletes and AAA are mats.
And so I'm sure there's a lot of logistics involved. You got athletes from all over the world traveling. So how do you manage this process, especially for the Carifta Games?
Well, this year we have it pretty easy. We only are dealing with the Team Bahamas, family and friends, and Jamaica. So this year was a pretty smooth transition with securing the flights and dealing with, just to our own national team and Jamaica. So it was pretty easy this year.
And it's a confidence boost when you're a national team, you're traveling on your national flag carrier. You feel like it gives you like a little extra boost as you go into your competition. I want to talk about the new route you mentioned to North Carolina. What goes into this decision of creating a new route? And I'm sure it's just not a decision you just wake up one morning and make. So what goes into deciding a new route for the airline?
Well, whenever we make a decision to go into a route, is always based on partnership, and one of our biggest partner, our biggest partner is the Ministry of Tourism.
Yes.
We always consult with the Ministry of Tourism, and we have a conversation with them. We check out the market and see if it's suitable for tourists coming to the Bahamas, and that's how the decision is made, and gratefully, Bahamasair has an advantage of using the Ministry of Tourism and their data, which helps us along to make those decisions and when we're selecting new routes.
Yeah, and any routes, I don't know if you could mention, but anything else on the books?
Well, I can say this much, just stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So just once again, when it comes to Bahamasair and working with, you do the charter services, right? So tell us a little bit about that, and so I can charter a plane to fly anywhere in the world?
Well, you can travel anywhere that Bahamasair aircraft can take you. Well, chartering, it's pretty easy. You will communicate with the charter department myself. You will let me know the destination, with size aircraft you'll like to operate, and I will do all the logistics by plotting out your flight plan to ensuring you get the best rates, and we hit it off from there.
Yeah. So if I want to anywhere in the Bahamas, I could all these rake and scrape festivals, all the homecomings and all that.
Touch that.
Yeah, we could just call up Bahamasair like, we need a plane. We're taking the whole Bahamas and Sunrise crew on Terrence Tab, and we're gonna fly the plane down there, and I'm gonna go to Salty Fest.
It's so important that you mention homecomings, because what we've been doing too, as Tenelle said, we fly to the majority of the major family islands. Like, for example, Cat Island, we don't have regularly scheduled services into Cat Island. But what we do on a yearly basis is we put on scheduled charter flights into Cat Island to assist persons getting down there for the Rake and Scrape Festival. We're doing it this year. We're assisting and moving people from Nassau into Wilfred this year. For the first time in many years, we're offering a jet service that will be taking folks from Nassau into Wilfred for the Easter weekend, the homecomings, because on Wilfred that particular weekend, they have all the different settlements who are having their homecomings. We do the same thing for the Georgetown Regatta, and those flights are starting from April 23rd until April 30th. Wilfred, the jet service will be from the 28th, and then we'll go back to pick them up on April 5th. So we have it all covered for the Rake and Scrape festivals, and as you mentioned earlier about specials and promotions that are going on in Bahamasair, from April 1st until June 14th, we're putting on a special for our group travelers. If you travel with 10 or more, that 11th person will travel free. So if you book now from April to June, you'll be able to move your groups at a very affordable cost. And we have group rates available for all of our destinations, from Raleigh to Miami to Inagua, wherever. We will provide services for you. And speaking about Raleigh, in the weekend of the 11th to the 14th of April, Bahamasair and some of its local corporate partners has teamed up together where we're putting on a sweepstake to get 1 or 2 winners to come over to Raleigh to enjoy the Joe and Tamia concert.
Right,
That's going to be awesome. The concert is going to be on the 13th at the PNC Arena down there. We also established a partnership with one of the local hotels in Raleigh, North Carolina. And if you visit Bahamasair.com, all this information that I'm speaking to, you'll be able to receive that.
Man, it sounds like there's so much going on at Bahamasair. Our national flag carrier. We got new routes. We got special flights for all of our homecoming events across the islands, and we got giveaways. I think I'm ready to go to that concert too. So I need to figure out how my wife and I are going to get there.
Easy.
We're going to
On Bahamasair.
Bahamasair.com.
That's right.
We get all the information.
Yes, sir.
We'd like to thank y'all both for being here this morning. Lots of exciting news. Looking forward to Carifta and all of the wonderful things Bahamasair is involved in, going from strength to strength for the next 51, right?
Yes.
For the next 51.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all
Thank
great
you for
one.
having
Thanks
us.
for being here. You're watching Bahamasair. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back. Y'all done take over the whole show.
We know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Here are three young people who stopped attending high school and got disengaged in their educational journey due to the pandemic. Today, they are proudly taking their walk all over the place because they took advantage of BTVI's Smart Start initiative. All high school students in New Providence and the Family Islands can participate in free hands-on learning to improve employability, learn basic literacy and numeracy skills, and earn a BTVI certificate in automotive mechanics, beauty and construction trades, or fashion in only 14 weeks for full-time participants or 24 weeks for part-time. Don't count yourself out. Do what they did and enroll today. Email smartstart@btvi.edu.es or call 502-6300 so you can take your walk anywhere in life.
Meet Leno, your bridge to the future. Wealth planning, investments, corporate services, trust services, pension administration, fund administration, outsourced accounting, and payroll. When you think of financial solutions, think of Leno. Local or international, company or individual, Leno can help. Our team of skilled professionals has the experience and expertise needed for you to strive. Your goals are our goals and our priority. Leno will guide you to the right financial solution with the knowledge, resources, and support you need. Give us a call at 242-396-3225 or email us at info@lenobahamas.com to get started. Visit our website, www.lenobahamas.com, for more information today. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Welcome back. All right. Gives existing shareholders the chance to buy additional shares. With me now to tell us more about this is Angelo Butler, Manager of Corporate Advisory Services at CFAO. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
So what is a secondary rights offering?
Okay, so a public company is a company that has shares that they would have issued in the past to investors, and from time to time companies may need additional capital, whether it be for expansion or new ventures, establishing new subsidiaries and what's not. So a secondary rights offering is an offering where the company gives its existing shareholders an opportunity to, in essence, retain the ownership they have, right? One of the problems for an investor would be, if I own 10% of a company, I don't want to wake up one day and own 5%, because more shares were issued. So the rights offering gives you the opportunity as an investor to retain that ownership by purchasing additional shares in the company. And so right now, Focal is offering additional shares to its existing investor base. So like I said, if you own 10%, now you have the ability to keep 10% of what's going to be a larger company going forward.
You touched on some of, I guess, the broader reasons that companies in general might choose to do a secondary rights offering. Why is Focal choosing to do one now?
Yeah, well, Focal has been expanding, which is good for a company. You don't want to stay stagnant. You don't want to just say, I'm happy with the business that I have. So they have been getting into new ventures, not just in the Bahamas, but also throughout the Caribbean. And this is a part of that process to give them some additional funds to make those expansion happen.
You talked about expanding, I guess, ownership as an investor, but who is entitled to participate in a secondary rights offering?
Yeah, so unlike an initial rights offering, an initial public offering where anyone can just come in and purchase, this offering is restricted to the existing shareholders. So anyone who already has shares in Focal as at February 21st is eligible to purchase shares. And so you get, for every 20 shares that you own, you're allowed to purchase one additional new share. Some people can also purchase extra. You can apply for it, but how much you get would be subject to the board approving it at the end of the offering. But the idea is that everyone will have the opportunity, all of the existing shareholders will have the opportunity to purchase additional shares.
What are the options of the ordinary shareholders under the secondary rights offering?
So you can purchase your exact entitlement. So let's hypothetically say you own 100 shares, then you would have the opportunity to purchase an additional 5 shares. You may also just want to purchase 1 share or 2. You can partially use the rights, as well as you can choose to not exercise them at all. But as I mentioned, if you own 10% of the company and you don't use your option, going forward you'll probably own, say, 7 or 8% of it going forward, because more shares will be issued, and if you have the same amount of shares as before, you won't see any change. So you can either take your full allocation, you can take partial allocation, you can abstain from it, and some people will also apply for additional shares. But again, that's subject to final approval.
And how do folks exercise their rights?
Okay, so each investor should have received an email, or we also distributed via the post office, but we've sent it via mail, and there's also a website, cfal.com/offerings. You can go on the website. We have the offering memorandum, which tells you all about Focal, its history, its some of its plans going forward. You will see some of its recent expansion opportunities. It provides you with information about risk, and it also has the application forms in there. So once you complete that application form, then you would send it to CFAL along with a few documents, the standard passport, utility bill, and then you would also send the funds to an account that we would have established. And once that's done, you email it to CFAL. We'll provide you with an acknowledgement, and once the offering is concluded, all of the investors will get an updated shareholding.
Now, when does this offer expire? Because we as Bahamians in particular like to wait until the last minute to keep it exciting.
Yes, so it's been open since February 22nd, and it will close on March 22nd. So as you mentioned, we have had 2 weeks so far, but we know that during the last week is going to be when everyone kind of comes in. But once it's in by 5 o'clock that Friday, then we will process it and make sure you get your shares.
This is your warning reminder this morning. So what happens to my rights if I choose to do nothing?
They just expire, worthless at the end of March 22nd at 5 p.m. So you can't transfer them, you can't sell them to anyone else. It's your right, and you either take advantage of it or you lose it.
So if somebody, is not, I guess, well-versed, which I imagine that many of your investors might be, but even interested in getting into the market, interested in participating in this secondary offering, how do they get more information or learn more about the process?
Okay, you can call us at 502-7010. You can ask for myself, Angelo Butler, or my assistant, Shania Davel, and we can guide you. You can also send us an email at focal@cfal.com and we'll respond. We've been responding pretty quickly, but just give us a call. We're available and we're able to answer any questions you may have and guide you in the best way.
And just remind the shareholders one more time when it's the last day before 5 o'clock that they have to get in there.
Yeah, March 22nd. That's next week, Friday.
Okay, so we've had
5 p.m.
2 weeks, so we have one more week.
2 more weeks.
Yeah.
This full week
Top of
and
the week.
next week. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is wonderful. I'm sure that everyone, well, if they are wise, they will take advantage because I'm glad to see that the company is growing. We love to see investments thrive, and this seems like a thriving situation. So, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Alive Business SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Alive Business at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
One thing, two things, new thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early on another marvelous Monday in March. And we had the mid-show, and you stuck with us. We're so happy that you did. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Gabrielle Gardner, hoping that you're still having a happy Monday.
Yes, having a happy Monday in the month of spring. That's what today's called, March?
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I mean, just observing this month, we've had like 6 different months being celebrated in March. It's because it's like Kidney Month, Women's Month. Yeah. What was it? We were supposed to talk about something with health this month. So there's a lot happening in the month of March.
You got to pack everything into March. It's the feel-good month. It's now the sun is starting to warm up again, although some people don't like that because Godfrey's about to be dead hot. But it is the month of spring, so those seeds that you've planted should now be sprouting. You should be seeing flowers. All the birds are chirping. There's new babies being born, and all of the animal kingdom. Right? It's that time of year. It's just. Life is abounding, so it's a good time of year.
Absolutely. I think you're rounding out the first quarter of the year. There's still time to achieve everything that you said that you would in January. So I think it's a good, like a shift. You know, it is a changing of the season. You've gone from winter, which we don't really have, but into spring where life is springing forth, and it's just a happy time.
Yeah, it is a happy time. And I've been enjoying my time with the Bahamas Crisis Center. We've been doing the peace campaign in the schools. We've been going through some of the primary schools here in Nassau, in New Providence, and just shout out again to all of the volunteers and the organizers with the Bahamas Crisis Center. The idea is that we want to create peaceful communities for our children. We want to prevent violence, and going into the schools, speaking with young people, teaching them that they have superpowers. You have 3 superpowers, we all have them: kindness, respect, and courage. And with those 3 superpowers, you can diffuse any situation. You can breathe life into somebody and change someone's day. So remember, you too are a superhero. You are a champion of peace. So spread kindness, respect, and courage in your day-to-day life.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm ready to put on my cape.
Let's do it. And we're ready for the second half of the show. We're going to take a look at that segment we had with Aquinas College with their Re-Initiative campaign and all the wonderful things they were doing on campus.
And Douglas Barkley and Christian Justilien are here to talk about the Junkanoo Colors photography exhibit. But before all that, we'll take our second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Gabrielle, and good morning, Bahamas. And your second look at weather at sunrise, we do have the high pressure now shifting west to east, making way for a cold front to move here sometime late tonight over Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini, tomorrow morning, early over New Providence, Luther, Andros. A very hot day in store weather-wise behind that front, and then we cool down behind that front in your marine forecast. Those winds today, south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet. Over the northwest Bahamas, southeast at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet. Over the central islands, and then easterly at 15 knots, 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. On Tuesday, those winds become northerly and 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 for the northwest Bahamas behind that cool front. Light and variable seas 1 to 3 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Then on Wednesday, those become northeasterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet over all the islands. Your tides. You can expect a low tide at 10:05 this morning. Next high tide will be at 3:53 this afternoon. Low again tonight at 10 p.m. Sunset 7:18 this evening. Rises tomorrow morning at 7:14. UV index 8. Your water temperature 76 degrees Fahrenheit, and your moon phase first quarter. Standard look. Cold front moves through. Bring a couple of showers along with it. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Clears up, and by late Friday, we expect another cold front to bring here much more precipitation along with that system. So temperature during Tuesday and Wednesday into Thursday will be in the mid-upper 70s daytime, mid-upper 60s at nighttime. Then we warm up the weekend just ahead and doing that next cold front. That puts her up in your final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Gabrielle.
Thanks, Godfrey. An upcoming exhibit titled Junkanoo Colors at the Central Bank of the Bahamas Art Gallery will create an immersive experience that takes you inside the shack. Here to tell us more about this are Douglas Barkey and Christian Justilien, founder of Colors. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
And welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Good morning, Bahamas.
All right, so what inspired the creation of the Junkanoo Colors exhibit?
Well, I was able to experience a rush out in 2019. I got on the street, made many photographs of it, and it really inspired me to look in a lot deeper. And Chris and I worked together at the University of the Bahamas, and I knew about colors. So we talked about doing a much more in-depth view and investigation of what is Junkanoo, who are the people, how do you make the costumes, what's the whole process. And so that really started kind of like basically embedded with Colors. I became a member of Colors for a year and went to the rehearsals and their practices. That's sort of how it all shaped up, and all the way up to a rush in 2022.
Chris, what does it mean to you, of course, as the founder of Colors, for this exhibit to focus on colors?
Well, you know, Colors, we've done a lot of first, and I believe that if you follow my history from my God in the Junkanoo, there are many things that I try to do just to uplift the exposure, the experience of Junkanoo, both locally and internationally. When Douglas approached me about doing this project, I thought it was a wonderful opportunity to highlight the many talents and the hard work that go into getting a group to Bay Street. And this project really encapsulates from the beginning, when you get your drawings and you have the ideas for a theme, straight to the end after they declare you the victor or the loser.
You know, oftentimes when you have a piece like this, especially a photography-based piece, it can be subjective to the, I guess, photographer's point of view, but you all collaborated on this. How do you think you helped shape the narrative that people are going to see?
Well, I think it was quite easy actually, because we didn't do anything any differently than what we normally do in preparing to go to the parade. So you actually get a real experience. You're telling your story. So we weren't acting. We were just in a normal state. The work that goes into fringing a costume, into drawing out a costume, into measuring a costume, into rehearsing the dancers and the musicians and the band, everything that went into making a successful parade happen for any group in the Bahamas. The quality and the kind of work that go into this project is, you wouldn't believe. Many sleepless nights, many nights away from your family and friends. And you know, a lot of guys even take their vacation every year at Junkanoo just to be in the shack, and they're in there free of charge, just giving up their gifts and their talents.
How do you hope that this exhibit will draw people into the essence of Junkanoo?
Well, for me, and I'm quite sure Douglas have his own perspective, this is actually our second time doing an exhibit in the Central Bank. Colors was the first Junkanoo group to hold a major art exhibition about 20 years ago, where we had all of the costume, the actual costumes and the trophies that we won over the years, all on the balcony and on the steps and hanging from the ceilings and placed on the walls. So this is another opportunity for us to show the kind of craftsmanship and the discipline that go into getting our product on the road and getting our members as a cohesive unit to function as a professional and a professionally run Junkanoo organization.
How do you think that this particular exhibit sets itself apart from similar exhibitions on Junkanoo?
Yeah, I think that's a really important question, and really asked myself at the very beginning, because there are already a few books out about Junkanoo. Most of them focus primarily on the rush. There's a few that are a little bit about the process. So I really wanted to get into the people. So who are, and I wanted to, and there's portraits of them in the book and the exhibit, and the process itself. So one of the differences is just that it follows the whole season. We start in the beginning, we go into the shack, and this is one thing also that Colors gave me, was simply access. So when we talk about telling the story, I simply hung out with them and spent a lot of time with them and took photographs as well, and so I became part of that scene. And so as a viewer, if you come to the exhibit or look at the book, you get this inside view. You're able to spend time looking at the photograph and studying the photograph, looking at the people, their expressions, the environment, which is harder to do when, say, if you just exhibit a costume or something like that, or even view it, you sort of miss out on all the work, all the discipline that went into actually making this spectacle happen. I think the book really explores how Junkanoo happens and who are the people that make it happen.
You mentioned that you were you were honorary member of Colors during the season when you were putting all this together. How do you think immersing yourself in that experience so that you could see things from different perspectives, how do you think that enriched the project?
Well, first, I learned so much about Junkanoo, the history of it, but also how it actually happens. Part of the book, for example, has an interview that I did with Chris, just about how Colors was formed, some of the mission and regulations, and how it's all put together. So I learned a lot of practical stuff about how it actually happens. And then I also saw how much work it takes and the dedication. I would return to the shack, and often the same kind of core group of people there, fringing, doing paste up, doing choreography, and I really saw the dedication, hard work, all that it takes to bring that whole spectacle to bay. It really was impressive. So I learned how much is involved in that whole process.
So when actually is the exhibit open, and how can people attend?
Well, it will be open. It opens this Friday, March 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Art Gallery at Central Bank, and then it'll be up in the gallery until May 3rd. So we have a big opening reception. I invite everyone to come and see it. There's 60 photographs. The photographs are drawn from the book. So there's a book. It's called Junkanoo Colors, and the idea of the exhibit and the book are kind of together, right? The book is sort of a permanent memory of the whole thing, and the exhibit, of course, makes the photographs much larger. You can experience them. As you mentioned, it's more of an immersive experience. The book is sort of a takeaway from that.
speaking of takeaways, of course, we have this incredible book. And talk actually a little bit about this and why people should check it out.
Well, the book was actually sort of the first product that came out of our work together. As the photographs began to be created, we produced them, they started to become a cohesive group. So the book is 165 pages. It's divided into sections. One's just the story of Junkanoo, and let me just open that first page. So the story of Junkanoo, and there's 8 writers that wrote essays about the photographs. So first, we made the photographs, and then I gave the photographs to a number of writers, Nicola Bethel, Dr. Marie Sersing, some also Junkanooers that just were not necessarily professional writers, but I asked them to write about their experience. And they wrote sort of to the photographs, not specifically, but to the group of photographs. And that sort of ties everything together. So a section on the story, then we have a section on just the shack itself, or on the rush itself, that puts together, starts from the hold, and then works out, goes through the whole evening of the rush. And then the next section is called the shack, and that goes into the life of the shack. So we start basically with I'll see if up here so you can see a little bit. So that goes more into the rehearsals and the organization of the shack, how things are built, crafted, and so on. The dances, the rehearsals in the park. And then we have a section on portraits.
It's beautiful.
These are all portraits. So this is another thing that was kind of cool we did with colors. One evening at rehearsal, I took a photograph of them as they came in their dress clothes in the street. And then I combined that with a photograph I took on then the night of Rush on Boxing Day, and put them together. And it really resulted in some interesting things. Just seeing them in character, you know, in their sort of their identity as a Rush or as a Junkanoo or as a Colors member, and then their identity just normal on the street. And then I asked them to write to it. So a lot of the persons portrayed here saw the photographs and then wrote a small thought on how they saw themselves in the photographs.
You know, there's so much that we've discussed in terms of what we experience as people in the audience at Junkanoo, and then what's experienced by the people start to finish. You know, all the hard work that goes into it,
right.
All the personal sacrifice. What do you want people to take from the exhibit?
Well, for me, I could say an important part. We always pride ourselves in how we get to Bay Street and trying to manage funds, and with the assistance of our sponsor, Leno Corporate Service. When you look at these photos, you can see the cutting of the paper. We try to avoid, there are a lot of tricks and shortcuts that you can take in Junkanoo, especially these days. But the photos, they are so sharp, you can see that the costumes are really crafted with the intent of preserving our culture. It isn't a shortcut. It's hard work. It's many man hours and woman hours, right?
Yes.
So I'm happy that the photos came out so nicely to demonstrate that we are doing Junkanoo. It's not just the colors and the flash and the glitter and all the feathers and all of that. And we train every single member of the organization, and you will see throughout the book, young people from the age of 5, 6, 7, pasting on large costumes. So they're taking this experience as well with them into the future.
Yeah, that's actually a great comment too, just about the diversity and the people involved in colors. They represent Junkanoo groups in a way, but also there's a lot of social relationships happening. That's one thing I learned also, that there's mentorship happening, there's coaching, there's young children learning the basics of how to create the costumes, but they're also learning about life. I mean, they have conversations about religion, politics. I mean, if you spend a day in the shack, you hear about everything. And at the same time, they're working together, right? Yeah. So there's a really strong sense of community in the Color Shack.
I love it. It's embodying, I want to say, the best of Bahamian culture, and I'm sure that people want to be a part of this. Just remind us before we go when they can start checking this out.
Well, the exhibit is this Friday, open to 6 p.m. The book will be available in April. You can order a book at the exhibition opening, and they'll be available in stores later.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Well, I want to also mention we're going to do a rush at 7:30 for the opening. So if you want to come down and see a fully costumed Junkanoo rush, you can get a taste of colors.
What is a Junkanoo exhibition without an exhibition of live Junkanoo? So I love that.
Yes.
Well, gentlemen, I just want to say thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having us.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
Focal Holdings Limited is proud of its consistent growth and the financial success it continues to bring to many Bahamians who invest in the company. Focal is committed to ensuring optimal financial performance for its shareholders. Focal's leadership remains focused on superior customer service and operational excellence across all sectors. Focal.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money. Local international banks that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together, or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Today we are excited to announce that our licensing process is now fully digital. Our new online gateway, the Freeport Business Portal, allows entrepreneurs to apply for a business license, track the approval process, and receive free information about funding resources. It provides support for licensees searching for available locations, wanting to develop a business plan, and so much more. Existing licensees can get access to free training and ongoing assistance from our Small Business Bureau, and can request information about upcoming initiatives to assist their business. Our portal is designed to ensure that all customers can have access to helpful resources 24/7. It is our commitment to do our part and enhance the ease of doing business in Freeport. Visit business.gbpa.com to see how we can help you.
Welcome back. Aquinas College urges students to engage in efforts to improve the world through various programs. One such initiative, called the RE Initiative, emphasizes environmental responsibility and aims to empower students to actively contribute to environmental conservation and sustainability. We're here now at the Earth Eden site, and here to tell us more about that we got with us Farmer Knight. He's the head of department for the science department here at Aquinas College. We have Gianna Burrows. She is one of the active participants in the program, and Mia Soul-Strawn. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Good morning. We appreciate y'all. We're not going to forget the rest of our crew in the back here. Our farmers, just wave to the cameras. Yes, we're here in such a beautiful space. From my walk onto this campus, it's been feeling very serene, very peaceful. There's lots of vegetation around, and we're now in this space, Earth's Eden. So Farmer Knight, tell us where we're at and what goes on here.
Well, we're at a very beautiful section of Aquinas where students get to interact with the environment. As the name suggests, Earth's Eden, which is a beautiful garden and will be a beautiful garden over time. And what goes on here, we actually connect the classroom for science with the environment, especially simple processes like respiration, photosynthesis, carbon cycle, nutrient cycle, such as nitrogen cycle as well. So it is a way where we kind of interlock all what we're doing in class in the physical environment itself.
Yes, and as we walk around here, we're seeing examples of different types of growing methods, different types of plants that are growing, and then just also the usefulness of using what you have on campus to get what you want. Gianna, tell us a little bit about your participation in the program and some of the things you do.
Well, since I've started participating here, it has been a very fun experience. I got to learn more about plants and got to gain more love for them and see why they are very important in the environment. And I'm mainly here to just preserve the plants, water them daily, and help with anything extra that is needed to be done.
That's fantastic. I can't imagine you taking on additional responsibilities, managing a farm, in addition to your day-to-day schoolwork and everything else you do. So Mia Soul, tell me, what has been the most rewarding part of this experience for you thus far?
The most rewarding part of this experience so far has been the education aspect and learning the different types of farming, how they are useful to the environment, how they benefit and help fixing processes such as global warming, greenhouse effect, all of that we learn out here and how this helps with it. And we also learn how to take care of plants, and so this really helps us in the long run, especially when you want to start your own farm at home, because that's what I'm doing right now with this information I'm learning here. So.
Awesome, awesome. Just tell us some of the examples of growing methods that we see here at Earth's Eden.
All right, we have raised bed for one, we have the hydroponics, and we have a shade house as well.
Right.
All right, so that's the most we do right now. We have also pots,
right?
And there are some methods we use as well, such as air layering, we do grafting, and we do intercropping as well. So intercropping, Mia Sol could explain that in terms of the uniqueness of intercropping and what we use for intercropping.
Go for it.
Intercropping is basically where we take the young seedling plant and the stem of a mature plant, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the mature plant and we're going to attach it to the young seedling. Now, what this does is this allows for the mature plant to, grow faster, and it basically accelerates the growth of the young seedling. So now, instead of waiting 2-3 years for that one seed to grow and produce fruit, we have this intercrop plant that's going to produce fruit at the same rate as it has from the mature plant we got it from. So, helps us the process
anything
go along.
that grows faster and gets food on the table faster, we welcome, right?
Yes, sir.
Gianna, just tell us, if there are any other students watching who may not have a program like this in the school, just tell us what you think the benefits are and why other students should be engaged in a program like this.
Well, I believe that this program is very beneficial because it allows you to have a more open mind. It allows you to realize what's really important, because as you know, plants are what help us to have oxygen, and the more plants, the more oxygen. So I don't think a lot of people realize that it's very important, because now we see a lot of people cutting down trees. So I believe that they should join this program because it'll help them to learn more about plants and why it's very important and why we need it, and that we should preserve it for the future generations.
I love that message, and very fitting for the name of the site, Earth's Eden, where we learn to be stewards of our environment, become one with nature, and to ensure that this planet lives on and it thrives for generations to come. So we thank you for inviting us here. We want to take a tour around and see what you got. We're going to talk to the rest of the farmers and see what you got growing in there, but we appreciate you all being on the show with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Aquinas College urges students to engage in efforts to improve the world through various programs. One such initiative, called the RE-Initiative, emphasizes environmental responsibility and aims to empower students to actively contribute to environmental conservation and sustainability. Here to tell me more about the Serenity Path and also about this lovely labyrinth behind us, we have with us Ms. Hutchinson, who is a part of the development of the labyrinth. We have with us, tell me your name? Ethan Mackey. Gerald. and Kaylee Roll. Thank you all and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're standing here along Serenity Way, right, which is a peaceful walk to this lovely labyrinth. That's very lovely design. I walked over, it feels very warm and inviting. Mrs. H, tell us what we're looking at with this labyrinth.
You're looking at what is known as a sacred space. And often when people first glance at it, the first thing that comes to their mind is a maze, but that is exactly what a labyrinth is not. The reason being, the labyrinth only has one entryway and it shares its exit with that same pathway. And basically, I guess the simplest way to put it is a labyrinth is an opportunity to de-stress through a reflective walk that takes you to a central point. And at that central point, you give gratitude. And as you make your exit, the hope is you're much lighter than when you entered.
Wow, that sounds like any one of these at my office, any one of these at my house. It seems like a very useful tool, especially in a school setting where students may find themselves under pressure, feeling stress, anxiety. So tell me, how were you involved in the development of the labyrinth?
Well, I found myself involved as one day I was just sitting under the pavilion and Miss Hutchison came up to me and a few friends and asked if we wanted to take part in building something for our school. I didn't really know what the plan was, but I said, you know what, why not? So a few days after, everyone gathered around and we just got all of the paint that we needed, got the script laid out, and slowly but surely started painting this labyrinth to where it is right now.
This sounds like a wonderful example of teamwork towards a team goal, a common goal. Tell me a little bit about some of the other students that may have participated and what it was like creating this labyrinth.
Well, it was about, like, say, 10 of us working on it. From time to time, we tried to whenever time we had, we tried to make time to work on it because some of us had all of extracurricular activities to do. So we find time in our own time to do it. So 2 or 3 of us would be working on it for one afternoon and another set for a different afternoon. Well, it was kind of hectic because, yeah, a lot of people working on something, and sometimes we had mistakes where we messed up, paint dripped everywhere, but we made it work.
Mrs. H, tell us, how have students reacted to using the labyrinth, and how do you feel this fits into their routine here at school?
Well, the routine is still a work in progress. It is new, and so we've grown from running through the labyrinth now to actually walking around it, and to the point where students of their own volition will now enter the labyrinth when they need a peaceful time or moment. We're still in the educational phase because it is new. I want to say it's the only one in the Bahamas right now, and so it is a new concept. It's one that is continuous, and we invite students, certainly with my classes, they've been introduced to it, they've been introduced to the walk. But our plan actually is to spread that opportunity out to all of our ACES family, staff, students, teachers, everybody, to know that they have a place where they can find peace and harmony in a very volatile world.
That's fantastic. I'd like to thank you all for being on the show with us today. We're probably going to take a walk through and see how it feels. Brother Barkey, I know you've been one who's experienced it, so I want to experience the clarity of going through the labyrinth, through the sacred space. But congratulations again to you all on this part of the Re-Initiative program.
Thank you.
Appreciate you all. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We're going to go take a nice walk through this labyrinth and clear our heads. We'll be right back.
Well, it has been another great day here on Bahamas at Sunrise. We are so excited to have had Mark back in the studio with us. We want to congratulate once again Mikala Allen on her recent graduation from the University of Buckingham with first class honors.
Top flight honors, Mikala. she was an intern here, and then she was an assistant, a producer. I think she did everything. She really touched the camera and all that. So congratulations again to all your successes. We look forward to seeing you back around here. Big boss girl mode. And again, I know it's International Women's the Day passed, but we still celebrate all the women out there who have contributed to everything that we enjoy and share, especially because all life comes from y'all.
Yes, girls rule.
Big up. Y'all have a great week this week. Remember, it's spring. Remember, it's going to get a little cold. It's going to get dry. It's going to get wet. Plant your seeds. And remember to be champions of peace this week, spreading kindness, respect, and courage wherever you go. You never know whose life it can change. It can be your very own. We enjoyed today. See y'all Friday.
See you Friday. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Come on back now.